Like, okay, and when you gave us permission, you don't have to have any talent, it made me feel better. And so when I answered the first round, I wasn't nervous, wasn't angry, wasn't any of that. And I was just thinking, well, this is interesting, let's see what happens. And I was kind of inside the lines, outside the lines. Then when you answered the second questions, we answered the second questions, I was a little angry, and I was a little on edge and nervous. And so that was interesting, because I've never thought that art would really do much for me, because I'm not good at it, and I shy away from it because it does make me nervous. And I mostly deal with things like running, I jog, and I do exercising kind of stuff to deal with issues, or whatever anger I have and stuff. And so I always never thought that art would help me, or colors. I get nervous about trying to mix colors, what looks good. And like when we opened the thing, she goes, "Oh, this is exciting." I go, "No, it's not." I go, "This makes me nervous." So, but I think it did help. It did reach me in a certain point. So even people that get anxiety over art, I think it can reach.
Thank you. I want to pick up on just 2 quick points. Oh, yes, please, don't. Did you have your hand up?
No, I didn't.
No? Okay. The idea of this helping with trauma is a big one, I think. I mean, I just picked up on that. And if anybody else or anyone can help me think about specifically doing an art, right? If you have traumatic experience, what do you think people can gain from doing this in terms of their trauma? What are they able to do with this that they couldn't do by maybe watching a TV show, or going on Instagram, or going to church? What's different about this type of an experience? Yes, and then yeah, you start.
I'd say it gives you more focus on the issue. Just like I said, whenever I was doing mine, I started feeling angry, but because as I was doing it, or doing the colors, I was focusing more on what the sadness was. So we kind of maybe just focus on it a little more.
Again, pick your brain a little. Your own life sadness, your own immediate sadness, historical sadness. What do you think?
I guess historical sadness, maybe just childhood sadness. And that's just because you said think back on your earliest thoughts, and so that's why I was thinking back then. And I guess it's really something I've never really think about until you said think back on your earliest thoughts, sadness. What is that?
We'll go in the back again, Mariah, back, and then right here.
I can just speak to my own trauma, let's say, and I had a medical trauma, and in trying to process exactly what happened and how that traumatized me, I was asked to do a collage of words, because I could not put words to the feeling of almost dying. Okay, so what that did for me, and what like these exercises do with color or whatever, is that it gives you a visual, whether it's a picture or it's words, that you can see your life on paper. And I mean, this is just my experience. So when you can see your life, or a situation, or a piece of your life on paper, it gives it validity. It makes it real. And you can, and I'm going to use the word freeing again, that it frees you to say, look at this is my story. And I may not be able to articulate that in words, but I can on paper. And then to see it, you acknowledge that it's your own. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
Makes a lot
So
of
that's what I experienced in my own life. And so I was excited to do something like this.
Yeah, I was just going to talk about how emotions are some of the most difficult things for anyone to talk about. And you asked who this could benefit, and really anybody can, because when we do this, it makes our emotions more tangible. They're not just something that we're feeling and something that we're being consumed by. It's something that, like somebody said, it's a visual. It's something that we can touch and see. And nobody knows how anyone else is feeling because we can't literally step in somebody else's shoes. It's something that we can try and empathize with them. We can try and help them through those emotions, but nobody can know what anyone else is feeling except for that person. And I just think this is a really good exercise because it helps those emotions be something more tangible.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Yes, ma'am.
I just feel it can be wrapped up easily. It's very self-empowering.
Oh, wow. Okay. Can you say that again?
It's very self-empowering. You're in charge. You can come full circle with your own system and realize you can do your own healing. It just kind of raises you up a notch. You know, makes you stand a little taller and feel a little better about yourself, at least for me. It's very self-empowering.
Did it help? I think I want to pick on that a little bit and ask you this. Did it help to have Jeff talking you through
Yes.
what you were doing?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to put on a sort of a product manager hat and ask you
Okay.
this. What if you went to a store and you bought this and it had some instructions? Do you think that would have been as useful as having someone like Jeff talk you through it?
Yes. Because because one may be a little hesitant about, oh yeah, right, or whatever, but to have some instructions to say, just get you started and get you warmed up and then let you go, so you don't have to think, am I doing this right, or maybe should I be doing it this way, or blah blah blah. Yeah, the basic instructions and then it lets you go. I'm an instruction freak though.
Okay.
I read instructions on everything too many times. I guess to stop me from really doing it. I don't know. I'm not sure.
And I did that.
I love instructions.
I call them mind steps.
People my family and friends would get stuff and just throw me the manual and say, tell me what's up.
Yes.
In regards to that last question, is that I think that you talking us through it is good, but what I think is even better versus doing it at home for me is what's happening right here, right now. Because if I was to go through that exercise by myself about being sad and then not being able to process that with people, to me that's the healing piece. But that's for me.
No, that's it. That's very useful insight. Very useful.
I went to therapy for a while to get over something. And this helped me tremendously before I went into therapy. Because then I was a little more open about how to communicate. And, therapy is fantastic, but it's up to you to get it right. You have to expose yourself completely to someone that can then help. So I agree with your point 100%. And to do it to your friend or to someone else and sharing that, both that can share your experience helps a lot. It did for me anyway.
Okay. All right, 2 more questions. We're going to get you out of here shortly as we promised, but these are more practical questions. The first one is, I would love to get anyone's insights on these, the art itself. Just, what are your thoughts on this art? The way it's set up, the way that it looked. The way it's packaged. What's your feeling on that? Yeah, in the back. Yeah.
I liked how random and weird it was.
What did you say? Random?
Random and weird.
Oh, weird.
I'm very, I don't know, I had asked him about a specific picture and I thought it looked like one thing and he thought it looked like another. And so that in itself kind of made me look at things a little different, because I'm usually okay, this is a house, right? If it looks like a house. But if it's weird or different shapes and people get to put in their own interpretation into it,